All right, hey guys, I'm going to just pop my glasses on. So welcome back. This is really, really cool. So today we're going to be going through essentially some reviews over some apps that you can use to get started in investing, which is really cool. Now, before we begin, just got to make sure that this is not advice. This is essentially me just going through the product disclosure statements, reviewing the apps, and pretty much telling you what I do off my own personal experience. You must make sure that before you do start investing or start looking into any of these products, first you must read the product disclosure statement, which is what we're going to do today. And the other thing is probably get some financial advice from an expert, either a financial advisor or an accountant, just to see whether this is right for you. Okay, so with that underway, let's begin. So first off, as you can see, we're looking at Spaceship, the website, to start with. We're going to be going through two portfolios with Spaceship, and then we're going to check out Raiz, which is a really cool app as well. And Raiz have, I think, 6 different diversified accounts that you can look into. So let's start with Spaceship. Okay, so we're going to go down. Now, whenever you're looking at investing, or whenever you're looking at an app that you want to start getting into investing, you must make sure you go all the way down until you find the PDS. Before you even start looking at anything, I would always suggest that look at the PDS. This is why we're going to go through this today. We're going to have a look at the Universe PDS once it loads up. There we go. Now, the reason why we look at this and we go through this is because we want to understand the actual product first before we emotionally invest into getting into the app. Okay, so when I started investing in a few of these apps, I made sure that I knew exactly what was happening before that. So if you look down at the key of information down here, a little bit about Spaceship. If you're looking at investing, I would always suggest that you understand what the app is going to be doing, what the team is like. I've been investing with Spaceship for quite some time, so I know what they're like, but you would probably want to see this. But I generally always start off with the fees and costs. Okay, so let's go all the way down to fees and costs first. Here we go. All right. So this is the fees and costs for the Spaceship Universe portfolio. Really, you must make sure you understand the difference, okay? Universe portfolio is different to the Origin portfolio. So this is the Universe one, all right? So this sort of is just a little bit of a blanket understanding of making sure you know what fees and what fees are and how essentially that could affect your investments. So the awesome and really cool thing that I love about Spaceship, especially if you're a beginner investor, is that you have to pay absolutely no fees if you have a balance of $5,000 or less, which is simply amazing. And then the best part about it is that you have 0.1% per year of investment balances for over $5,000. Okay, so this is a bit of an example here for those who are a little bit unsure of what 10% might be if you have a balance over $5,000. So based off an example of $50,000, all right? If you have $50,000 balance in the Spaceship Universe portfolio, you will get a fee of no more than $45 for the year. Let me get this straight, okay? Let me make sure you understand. And it's really, really important. Now, if you read here, so there's management costs. Whenever you're looking at investing, look at your super or anything like that, there is always going to be management costs when it comes to investments, because people that are investing for you have to get paid. It makes sense. If you're going to make money, they have to make money too. It's a win-win. But really, really important, and what I really love about Spaceship is the fact that whichever portfolio you choose, whether it's Origin or Universe, you get to pay absolutely nothing for the first $5,000, and then after that it's only 10%, which is pennies. It is nothing compared to most other products, which is really, really cool. Okay, guys, so that's probably the tick of approval that I always see from Spaceship. Once I've got the fees, I'll go all the way back up to here. Once I know how the fees work, okay, and understanding them, I'll go back up and work out exactly where they're investing their funds. Okay, I want to know where my money's going. So we go back up. Number 5 says how we invest your money. All right, so we go back down to number 5. Okay, now investing your money is really, really important to understand where it's going. Okay, you don't want to be just sort of paying out money to anyone and then not knowing where that's going. So from this, with the universe portfolio, you see that 70 to 80% of your money will be going towards overseas listed companies. So you'll essentially own shares in an overseas listed company. Most likely it will be a part of US companies, especially those in the top like S&P 500 companies, listed companies. As you can see, you have 15 to 25% of your portfolio is listed in ASX stocks, so Australian stocks, and then you have about 0 to 10% in cash. This obviously will change from time to time as they are managing your money. Obviously, as the stock market is looking to go down, you will have a little bit more cash, and then investments in volatile markets will probably they'll probably take your money out from that. So it's always a good thing to know. Okay, all right. So you know that roughly where everything's going, and if you're okay with that, if you believe that overseas listed companies are going to make returns, and you think that that's going to be a part of your values, and you believe that you would want to invest in overseas listed companies, then you should look at the universe portfolio. It's very much a portfolio based off of overseas markets. Okay, so once we've done that and we understand where our money is going, okay, simply once you know the fees and costs, where the money is going, really then that is looking good to get a tick and a tick, and that's exactly where you want to go with your investments, then I would go back to the team and working out what is Spaceship. Okay, so about Spaceship, understanding who they are. I'll do my research on the team, who is actually running Spaceship, and etc., to make sure that I know that they are doing what is best in my best interests. Okay, to give you a quick understanding of Spaceship, because I haven't been investing in Spaceship for the last 2 years now, they're all about tech companies. Okay, the big 4 tech companies like Amazon, Apple, Alphabet, or Google is essentially what Alphabet is. Who have I said? Amazon and Facebook, of course. The big 4 tech companies, they invest in them. They invest in other tech companies and startups and stuff like that too, but you just got to make sure that you understand what their objective is. So Spaceship is always looking to know where the future is going, which is what I really like about them. They actually are really amazing with regards to their message and their vision, and they're very succinct, and they keep their investors very much updated, which is amazing. Their communication is great. So I'd always suggest that you look at the team. Okay, look at the team and how they work, and make sure that it is up to you based on that. All right, now let's click out of the universe portfolio. Let's quickly go to the origin. Now, of course, if you're looking at returns and stuff too, they have the returns and all of their history. Now, of course, this is based off historical returns. They may not get this, but the universe portfolio over the last probably, I think it's 2 years, has got a return of around about 36%. 23.6% over the last 2 years, or 25 months. And then over this year, this financial year, they've had a 36% increase. Whereas the origin portfolio, if you're not so risk oriented, is probably something that you would rather look into. This is what I invest in personally, because I always look at what I want to do long term rather than short term. Okay, so I actually have accounts of universe portfolio and origin portfolio, but again, you need to make sure that you read the product disclosure statement and understand what is going on. So let's go down and check out the product disclosure statement. All right. So really, really important to know here. Again, you look at the fees first. Look at the fees and the costs when you go to a PDS. Then understand where the money is going. And then once you've done that, it's when you can start to understand what's happening with the Spaceship team. Okay, so let's go down fees and costs really quickly. Again, this is amazing. It's even better than the universe portfolio, and what I love about Spaceship is there is no fees for $5,000 or less, and it's 0.05% per year for investment over $5,000, which means that if you had $50,000 invested in Spaceship Origin portfolio, then you would only have a fee of $22.50 for the whole year, which is absurd. It's amazing, pretty much. I commend Spaceship with their low fees, and how they're doing it is simply awesome. And then we go into how they invest their money. Again, with Origin, it's about the same as their universe portfolio. I do know that they have less aversion to risk when they're looking at the Origin portfolio. The universe portfolio is banging on the bigger the markets and the more riskier markets. So if that is not for you, then something like the Origin might be something to consider. Okay, so again, we don't need to look at about or anything like that, but those are the key things that I look at. Of course, you can check out how the fund works and can read the whole thing if you want to, but I always look at those two things first, and then trying to understand the team and where they're taking your money is really cool. All right, let's check out Raiz. Now, Raiz is looking really, really cool as well. I don't personally invest in Raiz. However, it is definitely something that if you're interested in, you should look into. Again, they have 6 different portfolios, which is a bit different to Spaceship, seeing as they only have the 2 portfolios. So they have the conservative, the moderately conservative, moderately aggressive, and emerald. Again, this is going to be, and it's a little bit of a cool graph that you can use to work out based off of past experience and past history, where your money would be going and how much returns you might be getting as well over a specific amount of years. Again, remember, it is all based off historical returns, so it may not happen. All right, so let's go down the PDS. Now, this is one thing that I don't really like about Raiz, is their PDS is always down at the footer. I don't really like that, but I guess it doesn't really matter too much. So let's just go down. It's just my personal preference. I'd rather see that they're trying to push out their PDS so that people can understand what exactly their product is about. Now, as you can see, the PDS is not as good looking as Thingo, and it doesn't have as much going on. Well, it probably has a little bit more information, but let's keep scrolling down. Let's see if we can try and find. So that's just where everything is going. There we go. Fees. So this is what I'm looking for here. Okay. So again, Raiz is really cool too. So you have $0 per annum for account balance of less than $10,000. So there it's sort of one-upping Spaceship a little bit, which is really, really cool. Accounting fees are a little bit more though for when you get above the $10,000. So you just got to make sure that you understand that. Then you have your underlying issuer fees. Okay, this is for investments that are for the obviously your moderately aggressive portfolio and above. So you do need to make sure that you understand that you have that. But this is the kicker. Okay, they have a $2.50 per month fee. Now it's not a lot of money. Okay, but for the accounts less than $10,000, you still have to pay $2.50 per month, which equates to roughly $2.50, 24. So you're looking at about $36 a year, if that is correct. Let me just double check that. $30 a year, sorry. Yeah, I plus 12 there. So $30 a year. Okay, so you're looking at that as your fee, which again, it's pittance. It's really not that much, but if you're looking at spending more than $10,000 in your investments, and you're looking at a moderately aggressive portfolio or above, because you're maybe a little bit younger and you can take a little bit more risk, then you got to understand that there are more fees incurred with Raiz than there is Spaceship. Okay. Okay, here's a bit of an example on $50,000. So remembering that Spaceship is essentially $22.50 for anything above $50,000. with Raiz, your costs of funds equal to $269.68. Okay, this is what you have to understand and why it's different. And this is why the PDS is so important. You must make sure that you read the PDS before you make any decisions. Now, here's the asset class. Now, the thing is that you're looking at, this is where your money is going. Okay, so you have to make sure you know where your money is going. All right. So again, with Raiz, it has 6 different portfolios, so it's a little bit more confusing. So you have to make sure that you're understanding exactly what's happening, which portfolio you're looking into, etc. Okay, so if you do want to look into any different portfolios, then you must make sure you understand which portfolio is investing in where. All right, I won't go through that today, but that is just a bit of what is happening with the PDS. Then, of course, you have to know what the team, that is next. So a little bit about Raiz and understanding them. Now, like I said, I don't personally invest in Raiz. However, it is still a great app. It is still something that is worthwhile if you're looking into getting into investing. But it is, again, up to your personal preference. So with regards to the team of Raiz and Raiz investing, I can't say much. I can't give you my personal experience. So this is where I would say always read up and do your research where you can. All right, guys. So that is the 2 apps that I would suggest, or what I should say is what I have looked into in the past. I personally have decided on Spaceship and going into the Origin portfolio and the Universe portfolio. Again, it depends on you. I, for one, am very impressed with regards to the little amount of fees in Spaceship. So that is definitely something that you should look into and consider. Okay, but like I said again, you must make sure you read the PDS fully before you actually start investing. And I would always suggest get advice from a financial advisor or a tax accountant. Either one is fine. All right, guys. So that's going to be it for today. I'm going to leave it there because I believe that is all we need to really go through when it comes to the 2 apps. But again, make sure that you like, subscribe, and click that notification bell once you hit those, because once you hit that notification bell, it means that you'll get a notification on my, whenever I release a video or anything like that. So make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell, and we'll see you all guys very soon.